NVIDIA might be launching GeForce RTX 4070 with GDDR6 memory. AMD has launched Ryzen 9 5900 XT and Ryzen 7 5800 XT. And the pricing information for the Ryzen 9000 series has emerged. Okay, so first we have a GDDR6X memory is getting a shortage, and for that reason, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 would be going 12 gigs G6, not the G6X. So there was a story reported by Video Cards, and they have received this information from board channels, is that NVIDIA has been carefully controlling the supply of this RTX 40 series using a scarcity strategy to balance supply and demand. By strictly managing the order quantities for AIC brands, they ensure that the Chinese market gets just enough graphics cards each month or quarter, no more, no less. So according to the latest update from NVIDIA, the supply of RTX 4070 and higher models is likely to be even tighter in August than it was in July. The main reason, of course, is that it's going to be expected shortage is a potential lack of G6X memory that NVIDIA might face next month. So G6X memory is getting a shortage, so they're opting towards G6. But there's a slight problem with they're not just only utilizing G6, they're also downgrading the GPU, which is the RTX 4070. As you can see right here, it says it would be no surprise that the guess would be carried out like this, because GeForce RTX 4060 Ti uses the 8104 GPU version and it is paired with the G6 memory. So GeForce RTX 4070 12 gigs G6 version will be existing. That has a very high probability of using the 8104 150 wafer version of the GeForce RTX 4060 Ti PCB. So we already know that GeForce RTX 4070 utilizes 8103 175 SKU. There was the original SKU which was 8104 250. My question would be, are they gonna go back to it and name it with a G6X memory? As the leak implies, they're gonna go back to 8104 150. Is it really highly accurate? I am not sure. So there are two possibilities. They might be going back to 250, or they might go for 150, the newer version of it, which is similar to the RTX 4060 Ti. So that would mean that's a downgrade, not just only in the memory but also in the CUDA cores. But we're not sure about that because we don't know if the CUDA cores will be dropping down. But my guess would be if they're utilizing 8104, definitely the CUDA cores will go down. But is it going to be similar to this, the 5888, or gonna be something else? If they go even lower, then what's the point of RTX 4070? That is really an interesting thing they're doing, NVIDIA. Next up, we have some launch coming from AMD for new processors, or basically new processors for older platform, which is the AM4 platform. And now we have two more CPUs. As you can see right over here, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 5900 XT. Of course, it already has launched and you can buy it right now from Amazon. Link will be in the description, of course. This is a 16-core 32 threads processor, which is priced at $349. Now, when you look into the specs here, of course, we have the base clock, which is 3.3 gigahertz, and of course, the max clock, we're looking at 4.8 boost. Not only that, it has 72 megabyte of L3 cache, and of course, DDR4 support, so that's also there. So yeah, it's a bit boosted in terms of specs, so it doesn't surprise me because it's a 5900 XT that is to look out for. So AM4 platform is technically not dead. We also have the AMD Ryzen 7 5800 XT, of course, 8-core 16-thread processor. The base clock we're looking at is 3.8 gigahertz, and the max clock is also same 4.8 gigahertz with an L3 cache, which is lesser or half of the previous Ryzen 9, so 36 megabyte. That's it. But the pricing is kind of fair, $249. So it's a decent pricing we're looking at, even for the Ryzen 9 5900 XT, because it's a 16-core processor, but only $349. So not bad, even though it's an older generation, but still it kicks really well. Those who don't want to upgrade to the AM5 platform and still want to stick with AM4, this could be a good possible upgrade opportunity. Oh yeah, not to mention the TDP remains the same at 105 watts. And next up, we have something spicy, which is the Ryzen 9000 pricing has emerged. So let's look into it. So we have Momomo_US just leaked this information. Well, technically it's not coming from him. Basically, Newegg leaked it, and well, basically a screenshot was captured. Yes, you guessed that, it has been already removed from the site. So let's look into the pricing, of course. So we have first the AMD Ryzen 9 9950X going for $599, which is a decent price, not gonna lie, because if you look into the previous pricing for the 7000 series is $100 less. That's right. Next up, we have the AMD Ryzen 7 9700X, which is an 8-core processor, coming at $359. This is not $100 but $40 less. I'll take that, comparing to the 7000 series, of course. And we looked into these two pricing already in the previous story, so let's look into the Ryzen 5 9600X going for $279, only $20 less, which is kind of expected because, you know, they're not going to be cutting too much much from that, but still they're going cheaper in terms of pricing. That's good. And also we have the AMD Ryzen 9 9900X. That's the 12 core processor going for $449. This one is also going cheaper of $100. So basically AMD is cutting the price for the top SKU models for $100 comparing to the 7000. So that's a pretty big thumbs up there. The question is, of course, the performance will be better, but the question remains is that will it be worth the hype of the 9000 series, or are they cutting the price because it's not really worth it? Who knows? But even if they're cutting the price, I'm still up for that, because yeah, that's cutting price but also better in terms of performance from the 7000 series. It's pretty neat, of course. Now just we need to see if the pricing will justify the performance that they will deliver. As a matter of fact, whatever the performance will be, it will justify, because they're cutting the price for $100 for top 2 SKUs, and even the 9700X getting a $40 cut, and of course the 9600X getting a $20 cut. So not bad. I'm just hoping the performance in overall scenario won't be that much disappointing, because we got to see that 10% increase for the 9950X wasn't really that great in terms of performance. So of course that is a bit worrisome, but hopefully the other processors will deliver. So we'll see about that.